gives them a satisfaction they couldn't get any other way.
What's that for? I was like this, and then I got to here. I was like, oh, I could, like, it was bending. I'm like, okay. So I was like, maybe I'll just push the window down. It just kept on going, boom, boom. And this thing was like fully bent. I'm just like, I'm gonna let go. And then the thing was like, I was like, yes.
Why'd you have to do that?
Because I locked my keys. Well, I didn't lock it. Just stupid alarm fucking system locks itself.
This truck locked itself this morning with the keys in the ignition. So he had to break into it this morning. It's no secret to you guys that we've been looking for an engine for the Civic, and I told you guys when I did the brakes on the rear brakes that I was actually waiting because there was a car I wanted to buy where the front brakes would go good on the front of the Civic. That car is gone. That car's no longer available. I've been feeling lately for a motor, and there's one that seems like a good deal, seems like it should be nice. We kind of changed plans. We might just get a motor and then a transmission separately and just kind of make it work. I don't know, but right now we're gonna go check out this motor, and I guess we'll go from there. Robbie, nice to meet you. It looks like we have most of the shit here to get started. Okay, you're good there. We bought it. I wasn't set on buying it when we came here. I really just wanted to feel out like what we're doing, because like we haven't even looked at any cars yet or anything. We were just like I said, just getting our feelers out there. But this one was a good deal. It's got enough parts. I don't know. What do you think?
It has the main heart.
Yeah, it has the most important stuff. So I think it's a really good base. So we picked it up, got it right in the bed. We forgot the ratchet straps, so we just have it like tied in there with literally a rope. So hopefully it doesn't go far. And it was funny because the guy we bought it off of was actually a subscriber. He gave us a tire that put it on. Super nice guy. Thank you for helping us out. A lot of we don't know a lot about Hondas, and we make that very clear. Like we're learning as we go. So I asked him a lot of questions about stuff I need and whatever. So it's cool. He hooked us up. I'll have to show you guys what it is when we get home. Okay, so the time has finally come. 2 days ago, we pulled the motor out of the Civic. It's still sitting right here. We haven't done anything since, but we took the D15 out, so it is time I unveil the motor to you guys before I show you. It's not exactly actually how I had it planned. When I bought the motor, I had different intentions, and over this time frame, I'm kind of glad I actually delayed it, because over the time frame, things kind of changed. My exact plans for the motor switched up a little bit. But I just want to say that for those of you guys that watch these videos all the time and you pay good attention, you guys figured out what this motor was, and you guys have known for a while. Because I got you guys a little sneak peek. You guys notice sometimes I talk over here, sometimes I talk wherever. Right here on my whiteboard, it told you what the motor was. And not only that, but the motor has been in every single video under this box. Ever since we got it home, it's been sitting right here on top of this tire, under this box, and this box has been labeled. And it's just for those of you guys that see it, you know. Also, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys knew we picked it up. I told you guys, I showed you guys the whole adventure to go pick it up. But for those of you guys that just watch the videos, some of you guys picked up on what it was. So we bought a B18 B1, but let me explain it. Probably time we can show them too. There it is, baby. We've had this just chilling here literally since like whatever the date is right here on the screen. It's not perfect. It needs some work, but that was the point. We paid $100 for this. So we got this whole motor for $100. It came with this box of goodies, which I didn't even hide. This box has been opened in every video. We have an intake manifold, we have the ejector rail, we have mounting brackets, we have an alternator, throttle body. We have all that stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ. Last night I went out and I picked up a distributor. We picked this up for $60. So far I'm 160 bucks into this setup we have going on right here. If you guys watched the video when we pulled the motor, we actually picked up a transmission in that video too. So let's show them that. We literally haven't even taken it out of the back of Courtney's car since we picked it up. And I'm not gonna take it out right now because I have nowhere to put it, but we picked up an LS transmission out of an old Acura. So these are supposed to be, for the B18s, these are supposedly one of the best motors for boost because the gearing. It's not a GSR, we might go GSR one day, but for now, we are rocking the LS, and I paid 150 bucks for this guy. I was hoping to get it on the engine stand. I don't know if you're gonna be able to help me lift it or not, but we can try. Do you wanna try? Courtney gave it her best shot. I don't think it's gonna work. The only reason this is still floating is because the downpipe's under the motor. I don't wanna crush it. So if I drop the downpipe, I can probably just drop this whole motor in the box and go from there. Okay, I don't know if those are gonna hold. So we're gonna do it right above the tire, and we are gonna hope for the best. And now we should be able to just drop it in there.
Now it should just hold.
It should hold, I don't know. This is also a good way to do it because if it doesn't hold, then we find out. Because this was given to me by Derek, so I've never seen it in action. Okay, that looks hella sketchy. Like the way it leans. I mean, I'm sure that's the way it is. I've never had to use one before. It's gotta be fine. You know how heavy this motor was?
Yeah, I knew.
And I'm wiggling it all around. It's gotta be good. So this is the Civic's new motor. Now, before anybody says anything, I know that B18 is a common swap. I don't know much about Hondas. I don't know much about their motors. I don't know much about, like, all the Honda stuff I do is new to me. Honda's like the one thing I know the least about because I was raised in like I feel like there's this like, this thing that happens to people where they just like, they just hate Hondas, and I was part of it. I admit that. Where you just hate a Honda. You don't even pay any attention. So because of the fact that growing up, I paid attention to all cars and all the specs and everything, but I didn't pay attention to a single thing about Hondas because it was just like, Hondas were like shitty or racer or whatever. So I don't know anything about them, which is the coolest part is I'm learning all this stuff as we do it. So this is a B18 B1. I know it's a more common swap, but there's a good reason we did this for our first swap. So let me explain what my plan was and then what my plan is now before you guys freak out about it being like just another B18 swap or whatever. So when I picked this up, my original plan was to get it fully built. Like I was gonna build the entire motor and make the Civic like a crazy high horsepower build, which I still plan on doing. That hasn't changed. But I picked up this motor for $100 and I was like, cool, we're gonna get new sleeves, we're gonna build the bottom end, we're gonna get pistons, rods, all that stuff, like VTEC head swap thing. We're gonna do the VTEC head and all that stuff. And then I talked to this guy that builds these things for a living. Like that's all he does. And he was like, okay, you have a B1 bottom end, which means it doesn't have this girdle or something that holds like the sleeves. So basically the sleeve is like, you bore it out and you put a thicker sleeve in there so that you don't put too much pressure and blow it out. This guy is actually not the best to build. The better one to build would be one that's already VTEC, which would have come from a GSR. So I was like, that's okay, I don't care. I already bought the motor. It's no big deal. We just won't do the high horsepower yet because I think it's better to go, so like this guy was 150 horsepower. Boosted, it was 150 horsepower. This thing stock is 150 horsepower, and then we're gonna have it boosted. So we're gonna go from like 150 to hopefully over 300, just over 300, and we're gonna rock that for a while. And like I'd rather kind of progressively build up the car than just go from like 150 to 700 horsepower because that seems ridiculous. And I know that like, sure, to you guys, I'm a YouTuber. To you guys, I'm a YouTuber, and that's just like, cool, that's what YouTubers do, but like, I'm also a regular person, and I'm not like the kind of guy that's just gonna throw my whole bank account at a car and be like, now that car is 700 horsepower, because I wanna learn, and I wanna learn with the car, and I wanna grow with the car. So we went from the D15 boosted 150 horsepower, we're gonna go to this, and we're gonna slightly build this to take more boost and be able to handle more power than that. This should hopefully, I'm aiming for like 350, and then we're gonna run that for a little while. And then while this is being ran, because I did have full intentions of fully building it and then dropping it in and slowly upgrading the turbo kit and stuff to the point where this was like a 700 horsepower motor, like a 700 horsepower car, and I still do want that. So my goal is we're gonna drop this in, and then I'm gonna buy another one, maybe a B18, maybe not a B18, I don't know for sure. But we're gonna buy another motor, and on the side, we're gonna start building. And we are gonna have a fully built motor built on the side, and in 6 months, in a year, I have no idea. We'll drop it in when it's ready. We're gonna do it properly. That's the plans, that's the goals for the Civic. That's kind of what we're gonna be doing, just for you guys, so you guys know. We're gonna be going with this motor for a while, building another one on the side. Eventually, not yet, we're not gonna start that right now, but we're gonna build another one on the side and then do it. And eventually I'd like this Civic to be like a 700, 800 horsepower car. Like that's my honest goal. The valve cover was painted like complete shit by somebody who owned this before. And then it's got its fair share of issues that are gonna have to get fixed. Like this port is broken right here. Like you can't even get into that, so I'm gonna have to fix that. If you look, I don't know how someone did this, but if you look at one of these spark plug holes, I don't know which one it is. This one. If you look in this spark plug hole, there's a socket on that spark plug, and it's obviously not a spark plug socket or it wouldn't have got stuck like that. Actually, just try and get that out. What? Dude, it's a 14 mil socket. Some dunce was trying to take this out with a 14 mil and just dropped it in there and was like, uh-oh, can't get it back out now. At least it's not jammed though. Emerson was worried it was gonna be like stripped in there. We're gonna take this motor fully apart and check it, make sure everything's good, put new fluids. I'm gonna take the top end off and put ARP head studs and a new head gasket for now. That way it can handle the boost without stretching any studs or anything like that. The cams and everything are a lot nicer. For those of you guys that don't know that, like, this is a 1.5 liter in most lame terms. This is a 1.5 liter single overhead cam. This is a 1.8 liter It's a dual overhead cam. So it has 2 cams, and this specific engine can actually handle a lot of boost just stock, like just the way it is. It can actually do a very good job. Pretty much this week, we're gonna try and get this cleaned up. We're gonna paint the engine bay, and then we're gonna just try and drop it in. The Hondata should run with it. We shouldn't have to change anything as far as like the Hondata goes. It should be relatively simple. I still have to get axles. That's one thing I have to get. I have to get axles, and I have to get a different motor mount. And then it's just a matter of like finding hoses and stuff to connect everything once it's in. I also have to get a turbo manifold, so we're gonna be using this same turbo kit, because this turbo is actually capable of a lot more than we were giving it. This thing's capable of like 20 something pounds of boost. It's rated for up to like 350 horsepower, so we're just gonna use the same turbo and all that setup on this new motor, which should get us to where I wanna be, around 300, 350. And then it's just gonna be a game of learning all these wires and all this stuff that's on here and how to do that over here. Yeah, we're gonna have to clean it up. We're gonna have to make it look a little bit nicer, but that's what we're doing. We're starting with a smaller upgrade, and I mean, I could just be one of those guys that just dumps it all in there and is just like, boom, overnight, my car went from 150 horsepower to 700, but I just feel like that's not the realistic way to do it. And this way is pretty cheap. Like, we're gonna show you guys how to do this for pretty cheap. So that's the plan. It should be a really cool learning experience, and 350 horsepower in this car even is still ridiculous. Like, that's a lot of power for this tiny little car. So that's it. That's all we're gonna have for you guys today. I just thought it would be cool to tell you guys about the motor, unveil it so you guys can be hyped, and then you guys know what we're getting into. There's no more anxiousness and people blowing secrets from what's written on the board. I'm also gonna reuse this motor. We're gonna do something pretty cool with this motor. I think you guys will be actually pretty excited. Anyways, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are stoked. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and stay committed.